Hey guys, I watched my recent video, the moth incident, and I realized there were a bunch of like pauses and like just a bunch of really just I kept on covering up my speaker on my phone, which meant that it couldn't actually pick up my voice. So I'm gonna tell it all again, but it's just, I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna say it. So, what happened? It was recess. I saw these people crowding around the tree, and so I went over there and asked my a person. There, of course, I can't say their real name, so I'm gonna just call him Double. And so Double, I asked Double what's going on. Double then tells me that there's this huge moth, and it's apparently apparently it's important to people because it's a freaking moth. I'm looking over there, and I see it's only 2 girls, but I know them mostly for being nothing but just huge hippies. They love all animals, and they do not care what they are. Anyways, well, so let me think. Oh yeah, it was the so I tell him well that's not so bad, and then before I finished saying bad, he moved out of the way. And the moth was the size of my hand. It was like the size of my hand. I'm not joking. And so, well, this thing, I'm disturbed. I'm legitimately disturbed. So, what I do, hold on. Okay, and so what I do, I go over there and just start saying, that thing's creepy. They both tell me that it's not, and they start saying, it's cute. How is a freaking moth the size of my hand cute? The thing's disgusting, and it deserves to die. So, well, I just decided maybe I can step on it. So I step on it, and they start freaking out. I leave, and then I come back about 5 minutes later. What I see is just interesting. It's just wow. So what they did, they made their own entire freaking, what they did, they made a funeral for it. It's a stupid bug. It doesn't need a funeral. You morons. I would have said that if I wasn't so nice. Also now we get in a lot of trouble if we call somebody a name in school. So, well, anyways, they start going. I tell them that it's pointless. It's just pointless to even do that. It's a stupid bug. And then we have all 3 of us have a long argument about this. We're all screaming at each other. No teachers were attracted, surprisingly. And so a bunch of other people started joining in, screaming. I don't think they knew what we were screaming about, but so what happened? A bunch of random people started coming in, and they asked what was going on, which is the exact same thing I asked. And so what happened? She tells them this story, which is just amazing. It's just listen to this. I could have just used this to summarize the entire thing, but why not? I'm going into detail. She says, well, CJ stepped on this moth, and I'm angry about that, so I'm giving it its respected funeral. That I'm not joking, that's what she said. Don't take that the wrong way, please. Anyways, so what happened? So we just kept on arguing for about, like, I gotta say roughly around 20 minutes or so. People were getting on her side. Her side. That's just, no thanks. I don't think I need that. I don't want it. And so, well, after about like 50 minutes of screaming and arguing, me and a friend, his name will be Potato. I told Potato to take the moth out of the girl's hand, and so he did, and we started running. I followed him, and I told him to drop it. He dropped it, and I crushed it to nothing but pieces. Later, they were all searching for the pieces, and all they could find was a wing. Yeah, that's all they could find. So what happened? So then, after that, they find the wing, and by the end of recess, I see that one of the girls that was there, she was burying the wing. Jesus Christ, you really care about this thing. My God. And so, we then later actually went inside, and then this one girl, the girl that buried the wing, she said she started writing stuff on her desk with an arrow pointing towards me that said killer. That's it. That is all. She just kept on writing, I'm a killer. I told her these exact words. Seriously? I mean, you could have made such a much more creative name, but you just go for killer? I personally would have gone for Captain Killdozer. Who thinks that's a nice name? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, that's the story of the moth incident. I'm gonna re-upload the moth incident, but with this audio. So, yeah. If remember, that's all for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, smack that like button and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Hey guys, I watched my recent video, the moth incident, and I realized there were a bunch of like pauses and like just a bunch of really just I kept on covering up my speaker on my phone, which meant that it couldn't actually pick up my voice. So I'm gonna tell it all again, but it's just, you know, I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna say it. So what happened? It was recess. I saw these people crowding around the tree, and so I went over there and asked my a person. There, of course, I can't say their real name, so I'm gonna just call him Double. And so Double, I asked Double what's going on. Double then tells me that there's this huge moth, and it's apparently apparently it's important to people because it's a freaking moth. I'm looking over there, and I see like it's only like 2 girls, but I know them. mostly for being nothing but just huge hippies. They love all animals, and they do not care what they are. Anyways, well, so let me think. Oh yeah, it was the so I tell him, well, that's not so bad. And then before I finished saying bad, he moved out of the way, and the moth was the size of my hand. It was like the size of my hand. I'm not joking. And so, well, this thing, I'm disturbed. I'm legitimately disturbed. So what I do, hold on. Okay, and so what I do, I go over there and just start saying, like, that thing's creepy. They both tell me that it's not, and they start saying, like, it's cute. How is a freaking moth the size of my hand cute? The thing's disgusting, and it deserves to die. So, well, I just decided maybe I can step on it. So I step on it, and they start freaking out. I leave, and then I come back about 5 minutes later. What I see is just interesting. It's just wow. So what they did, they made their own entire freaking, okay, what they did, they made a funeral for it. It's a stupid bug. It doesn't need a funeral. You morons. I would have said that if I wasn't so nice. Also now we get in a lot of trouble if we call somebody a name in school. So, well, anyways, they start going. I tell them that it's pointless. It's just pointless to even do that. It's a stupid bug. And then we have all three of us have a long argument about this. We're all screaming at each other. No teachers were attracted, surprisingly. And so a bunch of other people started joining in, screaming. I don't think they knew what we were screaming about, but so what happened? A bunch of random people started coming in, and they asked what was going on, which is the exact same thing I asked. And so what happened? She tells them this story, which is just amazing. It's just, listen to this. I could have just used this to summarize the entire thing, but why not? I'm going into detail. She says, well, CJ stepped on this moth, and I'm angry about that, so I'm giving it its respected funeral. That I'm not joking, that's what she said. Don't take that the wrong way, please. Anyways, so what happened? So we just kept on arguing for about, like, I gotta say roughly around 20 minutes or so. People were getting on her side. Her side. That's just, no thanks. I don't think I need that. I don't want it. And so